Hello friends, and welcome into a special edition of the Raiders Report. I am Tom Downey, in today for Mitchell Renz, and I'm joined by Brent Korobotic over at BetDSI, the head risk manager. They're here to talk a little bit about the Oakland Raiders. Now, Brent, my big question here for you is obviously Oakland is a heavy underdog against the Chargers, even though they're at home. How much action do you actually get on the Raiders, given that they haven't looked all that good this year?
Yeah, and that's the whole kind of balancing act that we have to do here is you're looking at teams who, talking about teams heading in different directions here with the Chargers, who won 5 in a row, at Oakland, a team who's just looked horrible and lost 4 in a row. So again, we're not about predicting who's going to win the game. We're trying to throw out a number there that you're going to get decent action on both teams, kind of two-way action on both teams. And it just seemed like the right number was in around 9.5 and 10 here. We did open up at -10. Kind of, just a slight tick of Raiders money so far on that. But the wager count is pretty much even. I have taken almost the same number of bets on both teams on this one. So I don't really have a big chart, and you see that the line barely has moved. We are sitting at 10. Dog 15, but you look at the fact that the home field is supposed to be worth 3 points in the NFL, so really on a neutral field this game would be a 13-point line with the Chargers being favored. And you're probably, that is in the area. I mean, these two teams have played each other already. They played the Chargers at home beat Oakland by 16, so this line around 10, that would be 16, so maybe 13 on a neutral field. So it's kind of, the number seems to be right in terms of looking at the just a quick glance at it. The Chargers have quietly been a sharp side as well throughout the season. I mean, the sharp guys have been backing them, and I think the public hasn't really got onto them lately. But Oakland is definitely a team that people like going against. I mean, they traded their linebacker earlier in the season. They traded Cooper last week, and you get the feeling that they have packed it in. Last week, of course, they looked absolutely terrible, putting up 3 points against San Francisco. The San Francisco quarterback, they basically announced, early in the day of the game that Nick Mullins was going to be the quarterback for San Francisco, and he went through them with 16 completions for around 260 yards and 3 TDs, and he's got decent weapons going with him with Garcon and Kittle, but that doesn't compare to what the Chargers have going. I mean, they got a fantastic offense, they got a solid defense, so you're definitely putting up a high number here, and 10 points seems very tempting, I think, in terms of backing it as a home dog in Oakland. But just, I don't know, for me personally, I just can't back a team like Oakland who just looks so bad and really looks like they packed it in for the season.
Yeah. All right, folks, you can bet on these odds at chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code LIVE120 to get a 120% deposit bonus. The best out there. Put down $100. They'll give you $120 for free for a grand total of $220 to bet with on BetDSI if you use promo code LIVE120. All right, folks, once again, I am Tom Downey, joined by Brent Korobotic, the head risk manager over at BetDSI. Brent, let's talk now a little bit about the Sharps picks. What is some of the more notable action going on early before Week 10 here in the NFL?
Yeah, one of the lines that's really seen some significant movement so far is Tampa Bay. Now, Tampa Bay opened as a 1-point favorite at home to Washington. Washington really, I mean, their offensive line has been really beat up bad by injuries. You have to take into account that Tampa Bay's defense hasn't been good all season long, but they do have probably a top 10 offense. So Tampa Bay -1 was our opening number. We got hit by 2 different sharps at the 1 and 1.5. So I've got a couple of sharps both on Tampa Bay. The line's gone all the way from 1 up to 3 dog 15 or 3 dog 20 right now. So it's a real significant move, hitting the number 3 in NFL. So Tampa Bay at home is now -3. And again, Tampa Bay, it's not like they've got the greatest record or anything like that, but they are, a team who can put up a whole lot of points, and they'll probably do that against Washington. I imagine this one's going to be a shootout with the defenses, but Alex Smith really hasn't seemed to fit into that Washington offense very well so far this season. So Tampa Bay -1. That's a sharp play this week. Also have Atlanta. Atlanta on the road now. They are at Cleveland. And Atlanta's one of those teams who, I mean, they suffered, real bad injuries to start the season as well. Their defense was quite beat up. They're starting to get a little bit healthy. They've won 3 games in a row. So, I mean, things are kind of coming around for them in terms of maybe having a wild card game, in their sights. Cleveland, of course, I think they've lost 4 now in a row. They're 2-6-1 on the season. Fired their coach, and Cleveland's really just kind of come back to who Cleveland has been that we knew before. Now, is there a brighter future with them in terms of the draft and stuff like that, and what they've done with the running backs and talent, yeah, I think it's just going to take a while for it all to come together. So I kind of, you never want to lay a big number on the road, but the 4.5 is where the sharps bet this one. Atlanta's all the way up to a 6-point favorite right now on the road at Cleveland. Also have Seattle. Seattle's a tough one, I think. Seattle and the Rams. Sharp money came in on Seattle at +10, and they are down to -9.5 right now. So the Rams are the favorite at home. And Seattle, I mean, they've been a little bit scrappy team, and you got the Rams coming off their first loss of the season, so it'll be interesting to see how they rebound. But yeah, I mean, they obviously have a an elite offense, and I think you look at the Seattle. I mean, they're not a team that really looks very flashy, but they've had problems on their offensive line. But Russell Wilson seems to get the job done, consistently. One more sharp play that I have for you is a total play. That's Jacksonville and Indianapolis Colts. Sorry, that's under 47.5. We're down to 46.5 right now. This will be an interesting game. I think even the spread looks that way. The Colts open as a 3-point favorite. They got bet down to around 2.5 and 3 where we are right now. So the side has moved kind of down from the 3 -120 down to a 3 dog 20 around there, or 2.5 on the Colts. But the totals with the sharp action came on this one again. We're down to 46.5. Even some 46s out there in the market. Under 47.5 is where the sharp money came in.
All right, folks, again, you can bet on these odds over at chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code LIVE120 for a 120% deposit bonus. Brent, thank you so much for stopping by.
Have a great weekend, Tom. Thank you.